Hello, and welcome to the Bible with Briscoe. I am your narrator, Shenandoah Briscoe, and we are going to get through the Bible in 1 year. Today is episode 4, Genesis 10 through 12, and Matthew 4. Genesis 10, the Table of Nations. This is the account of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, Noah's sons, who themselves had sons after the flood. The Japhites, the sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshach, and Tyrus. The sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, Rapith, and Togarm. The sons of Javan, Elijah, Tarshish, the Kitties, and the Rodanites. From these, the maritime people, spread out into the territories by their clans, with their nations, each with its own language. The Hamites, the sons of Ham, Cush, Egypt, Put, and Canaan. The sons of Cush, Seba, Havilah, Sabeth, Ramah, and Sabteka. The sons of Ramah, Sheba, and Dedan. Cush was the father of Nimrod, who became a mighty warrior on the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. That is why it is said, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. The first centers of his kingdom were Babylon, Ukra, Uruk, Akkad, and Clanan. In Shinar, and from that land he went to Azariah, where he built Nineveh, Rehoboth, Kala, and Rezin, which is between Nevi and Kala, which is the great city. Egypt was the father of the Ludites, Anamites, Lehabites, Naphathites, Perthersites, Colosites, from whom the Philistines came, and Capharites. Canaan was the father of Sidon, his firstborn, and the Hittites, Jebusites, Amorites, Gershites, Hivites, Arkites, Sinites, Ardavites, Samarites, and Hamathites. Later, the Canaanite clans scattered, and the border of Canaan reached from Sidon toward Gerar as far as Gaza, and then toward Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, and Zebediah as far as Lash. These are the sons of Ham by their clans and language in their territories and the nations. The Semites. Sons were also born of Shem, whose older brother was Japheth. Shem was the ancestor of all the sons of Eber. The sons of Shem, Alma, Asher, Aparexad, Lud, and Aram. Lud, and Aram. The sons of Aram: Uz, Hul, Gether, and Meshech. Abraxad was the father of Shelah, and Shelah the father of Eber. Two sons were born of Eber. One was named Peleg, because in his time the earth was divided. His brother was named Joktan. Joktan was the father of Alamad, Sheleph, Hazarmoreth, Jereth, Hardamora, Uzal, Dikala, Obal, sorry, 3 times to pronounce that one, Abal, Abamil, Sheba, Ophir, Havilah, and Jacob. All these were sons of Joktan. The region where they lived stretched from Mesha towards Sephir in the eastern hill country. These are the sons of Shem by their clans and language, in their territories and nations. These are the clans of Noah's sons, according to their lines of descent within their nations. From these nations, the nations spread out over the earth after the flood. The Tower of Babel. Genesis 11. Now the whole world has one language and a common speech. As people moved eastward, they found a plain in Shinar and settled there. They said to each other, "Come, let's make bricks and bake them thoroughly." They used brick instead of stone, and tar for mortar. Then they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens, so that we may make a name for ourselves. Otherwise we will be scattered over the face of the whole earth." But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower the people were building. The Lord said, "If, as one people speaking the same language, you have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. Come, let us go down and confuse their languages, so they will not understand each other." So the Lord scattered them from there over all the earth, and they stopped building the city. That is why it was called Babel, because the Lord confused the language of the whole world. From there the Lord scattered them all over the face of the whole earth. From Shem to Abraham. This is the account of Shem's family line. 2 years after the flood, when Shem was 100 years old, he became the father of Arphaxad. And after he became the father of Arphaxad, Shem lived 500 years and had other sons and daughters. When Arphaxad had lived 35 years, he became the father of Shelah. And after he became the father of Shelah, Arphaxad lived 403 years and had other sons and daughters. When Shelah had lived 30 years, he became the father of Eber. And after he became the father of Eber, Shelah lived 403 years and had other sons and daughters. When Eber had lived 34 years, he became the father of Peleg. And after he became the father of Peleg, Eber lived 430 years and had other sons and daughters. When Peleg had lived 30 years, he became the father of Reu. And after he became the father of Reu, Peleg lived 209 years, and had other sons and daughters. When Reu had lived 32 years, he became the father of Serge. And after he became the father of Serge, Reu lived 207 years, and had other sons and daughters. When Serge had lived 30 years, he became the father of Nael. And after he became the father of Nahor, Serge lived 200 years, and had other sons and daughters. When Nahor, there we go, Nahor lived 29 years, he became the father of Terah. And after he became the father of Terah, Nahor lived 119 years, and had other sons and daughters. After Terah had lived 70 years, he became the father of Abraham, Norah, and Haran. Abraham's family. This is the account of Terah's family line. Terah became the father of Abraham, Norah, and Haran. And Haran became the father of Lot. While his father, Terah, was still alive, Haran died in Ur of the Chaldness in the land of his birth. Abraham and Nar both married. The name of Abraham's wife was Sarai. There we go. And the name of Norah's wife was Milcah. She was the daughter of Haran, and the father of both Milcah and Iscah. And now Sarai was childless because she was not able to conceive. Terah took his son Abraham, his grandson Lot, son of Haran, and his daughter-in-law Sarah, and the wife of his son Abraham, and together they set out for Ur of the Chaldness to go to Canaan. But when they came to Haran, they settled there. There they lived 205 years, and he died in Haran. Terah lived 205 years, and he died there in Haran. The call of Abraham, Genesis 12. The Lord had said to Abraham, "Go from this country, your people and your father's household, to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you I will curse, and all peoples on earth will be blessed through you." So Abraham went as the Lord had told him, and Lot went with him. Abraham was 75 years old when he set out from Haran. He took his wife Sarai, there you go, his nephew Lot, all the possessions they had accumulated, and the people they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for the land of Canaan, and they arrived there. Abraham traveled through the land as far as the site of the great tree of Moreh, and at Shechem. And at that time the Canaanites were in the land. The Lord appeared to Abraham and said, "To your offspring I will give this land." So he built an altar there to the Lord, who had appeared to him. From there he went on towards the hills east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. There he built an altar to the Lord, and called it the name of the Lord. Then Abraham set out and continued toward Negev. Abraham in Egypt. Now there was a famine in the land, and Abraham went down to Egypt to live for a while because the famine was severe. As he was about to enter Egypt, he said to his wife Sarai, I know what a beautiful woman you are. When the Egyptians see you, they will say, This is his wife. Then they will kill me, but will let you live. Say you are my sister, so that I will be treated well for your sake, and my life will be spared because of you. Well, when Abraham came to Egypt, the Egyptians saw that Sarai was very beautiful, a very beautiful woman. And when Pharaoh's officials saw her, they praised her to Pharaoh, and she was taken into his palace. He treated Abraham well for her sake, and Abraham acquired sheep and cattle, male and female donkeys, male and female servants, and camels. But the Lord inflicted serious diseases on Pharaoh and his household because of Abram's wife Sarai. So Pharaoh summoned Abraham. What have you done to me? He said. Why did you tell me that she was your sister, your wife? Why didn't you tell me she was your wife? Why did you say she is my sister? So that I took her to my bed. I took her to be my wife. Now then, here is your wife. Take her and go. The Pharaoh gave orders about Abraham to his men, and they sent him on his way with his wife and everything they had. Okay, now it's time for Matthew 4. Flip to your New Testament. First book, Matthew. Jesus is tested in the wilderness. 4. Then Jesus was led by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. After fasting 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. The tempter came to him and said, If you are the Son of God, tell these stones to become bread. Jesus answered, It is written, Man shall not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God. Then the devil took him to the holy city and had him stand on the highest point of the temple. If you are the Son of God, he said, throw yourself down, for it is written, He will command the angels concerning you, and they will lift you up in their hands, so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. Jesus answered him, It is also written, Do not put the Lord your God to the test. Again the devil took him to a very high mountain, and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their splendor. All this I will give you, he said, if you will bow down and worship me. Jesus said to him, Away from me, Satan, for it is written, Worship the Lord your God, and serve him only. Then the devil left him, and the angels came and attended him. Jesus begins to preach. When Jesus heard that John had been put in prison, he withdrew to Galilee, leaving Nazareth. He went and lived in Capernaum, which was by the lake in the area of Zebulun and Naphtali, to fulfill what was said through the prophet Isaiah, Land of Zebulun and land of Naphtali, the way to the sea beyond the Jordan, Galilee to Gentiles. The people living in darkness have seen the great light. On those living in the land of the shadows of death, a light has dawned. From that time on, Jesus began to preach, "Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is near, has come near." Jesus calls his first disciples. As Jesus was walking beside the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon, called Peter, and his brother Andrew. They were casting nets into the waters, into the lake. For they were fishermen. "Come follow me," Jesus said, "and I will send you out to fish for people." At once they left their nets and followed him. Going on from there, he saw two other brothers, James, the son of Zebedee, and his brother John. They were in a boat with their father, Zebedee, preparing their nets. Jesus called to them, and immediately they left the boat and their father and followed him. Jesus heals the sick. Jesus went through Galilee, teaching in the synagogues, proclaiming the good news of the kingdom and healing every disease and sickness among the people. News about him spread all over Syria, and people brought to him all who were ill with various diseases, those suffering severe pain and demon-possessed, those having seizures, and the paralyzed, and he healed them. Large crowds from Galilee, the Decapolis, Jerusalem, Judea, and the region across the Jordan followed him. And there you have it, Matthew 4. That looks like the end of it for me today. Tune in tomorrow, and we will be doing Genesis. Let's see, what are we going to be doing tomorrow? Let's get rid of it and find out. Tomorrow we will be doing Genesis 13 through 15 and Matthew 5, 1 through 26. Okay, so you all be blessed in Jesus' mighty name, and come back and see me tomorrow because, well, I'll be here, and I hope that you are too.